right, well, you've just heard a very interesting story about the cabin and Neil and Jim and their life up here. So now Bobby Joe's going to walk us around, and we're going to hit a couple of these shrines that they had mentioned. And so I will at least take that part over. Go ahead.
Hi, Bobby Joe.
Hi.
So we're at the Topaz Witch. And you were the Topaz Witch?
I was the Topaz Witch for 4 years. 4 years. And then, but I really enjoyed being the Topaz Witch. She's actually the one that starts the tour. And I would stand up right here on top of this, and there would be generally around 1,000 to 1,500 people, a sea of people watching me. And you'd think that would make me nervous. It didn't make me nervous at all. So I would begin with telling people who the Topaz Witch is. And she is actually, in the story, she is the, she was the queen. She was Queen Topaz over in Italy, and her husband was the King Topaz. And she had a sister that she came here with, which is the Cardinal Witch, and the Cardinal Witch is up over the hill. And they had a fight to begin with over, they both fell in love with King Topaz. Well, she came to the mountain, in the story she came to this mountain after losing her husband and her twin sons. And she wanted to make this mountain just a beautiful sight. Like I had said before, she would give out wands to all the children, or adults that like to think they're children as well. And
we all like to think we're very childrenish at sometimes.
We know you do.
It was actually very, very fun. I really enjoyed it. All the kids that would come up and want to take pictures with me, and it's such an enjoyable thing. It's one of the biggest outdoor plays I've ever seen. And there's a lot of wonderful history with it. In order for people to go on with the tour, they would listen to her poem, and then she would say, "Through the Topaz Gate you shall go," and that would be the cue for them all to go to the next spot.
Not to put you on the spot, but how much of the poem do you remember?
My name is Topaz, all dressed in gold, and in my hand a golden comb I hold. I come from Italy so far away, and on this mountain I shall stay. That's about all I remember.
That was pretty good, though.
Yes.
Very good.
So what do you have for us next?
I think the Undine Witch is next. We'll have to see. We'll have to. I'm trying to remember which one is the Undine.
Should we just take a walk down the trail now that you've opened the gate for us? All right.
The gate is open.
Let's take a walk down the trail and see what Bobby Joe has for us next.
Now, generally, this is up a little bit higher because the sound system has to get through. And when we do have this all set up, we do have a sign of the Topaz. This is the Topaz Witch. And then this is all decorated. And when I was the Topaz Witch, I would come up here actually with my girls and paint the rocks gold and get this all set up to where it looks beautiful. And
wow, yeah. I see the gold, all the gold sparkles.
And we'd put golden flowers, and I had little gnomes and goblins that I would put around the shrine. There's gate.
Quite a bit that goes into getting this set up, isn't there?
There's a lot.
I know when you were playing the Topaz Witch, quite a bit of detail. A lot goes into the costumes, and of course you have all that to memorize.
And the costumes, when I first started being the Topaz Witch, the costume they had me in looked more like a princess in a castle, and I really didn't care for it, so I went to the committee and said, she's supposed to be a witch. Why isn't she wearing a witch's hat? So actually the lady who plays the Black Witch, her name is Jessie, wonderful, wonderful lady. She made my costume, and so I donned the witch's golden hat and everything, and I liked it much better, and so did everybody else, because I actually did look like a witch.
It turned out amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
You ready?
Treat us to some more of your knowledge, your extensive knowledge.
Well, this is always a very, very beautiful walk through here.
You guys aren't going to believe this, but as we were walking through here and we're interviewing Bobby Joe on some of these different things, I had mentioned earlier that one of my kids played one of the elves. This is my youngest son, Dominic, and he played Twig.
Yeah.
Yes. And what kind of experience was that for you?
That was actually pretty fun.
And what kind of age group do you think would be the best to play one of those? What age range?
Definitely younger than I am.
Because he's so old.
Yeah.
But yes, I thought I'd introduce you to one of the former elves here. So, as mentioned before, Dominic does do a lot of behind the scenes stuff for us. But I wanted to introduce you to a former elf named Twig. He was probably that tall. Now he's... He was, yeah, he was just a twig. Yes. All right, well, little quick tidbit. Moving on, shall we?
Definitely younger than I am.
So, this one seems very, very interesting with all the booze bottles around. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this one?
So this is actually Sean, the drunken leprechaun. And a lot of people, the reason why there's more and more bottles around here is because people will bring them up and as a tribute to Sean, the drunken leprechaun. And on June 21st, summer solstice, you can see him laying up against the stump there, drunk, and he'll tell his drunken story of the troll that would not come. Sometimes we have to get in there and because people will leave plastic bottles, but it doesn't happen very often, and people actually really do love Sean the Leprechaun. He's actually one of our favorites. We'd actually talked about somebody else that would be good, but the gentleman that plays Sean the Leprechaun is a wonderful, wonderful man.
He does a very nice job.
People work very, very hard at their parts at doing and getting this play taken care of and making everything look wonderful.
Absolutely. What next? What else? Or no, you have a question?
Nope, I was just going to ask you what was the next one too.
What is the next one?
She said there's 9 of them, and we're just going to kind of touch on a few of them.
Yes.
Yes, we're just going to hit a few for you guys.
It is a long trail. It is a long trail, but when they are doing the play, you won't even notice. You'd never notice how long it is. It's such an excellent when people come to each one, and there is the storyteller that she'll walk around with everyone and tell the story of each one of the shrines. Incredible lady, and I think she's still doing it. But she has a little dragon on her shoulder and everything. It's incredible. Everybody would love to come up here.
And as they are walking through here, it is a trail through the trees. However, it's a very smooth trail. It's stroller friendly.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I've seen people throw their kids in wagons and pull them through here. You could probably get a wheelchair through here if needed.
Yes.
It's very well maintained. Yes, there are tree roots and pine cones. You're in nature, but it is very accessible and an easy trail to do. So keep that in mind if you would like to come up here and check this out.
The Crimson Dawn Committee comes up here before we do have the play and make sure that all the shrines are looking good and taken care of, and making sure that there's no debris on the trails. People can easily walk through here without getting hurt. It's actually a great thing, yes. No drinking.
Is there any outside food or drinking allowed here?
Generally not on the trail.
Especially alcohol, right?
Especially alcohol. Now, there are exceptions, of course, with small children. It's a long walk, and definitely you want to have your children to be hydrated. So, but we also try to make sure that people aren't smoking along the trail, because it is very, very dry up here, and it's not a good idea. We have had cases where people step back and they think it's okay to smoke, and that's where others come in and say, and we're very polite and say, could I have you, put that out, please, don't smoke. It's not a good idea. We don't want to start forest fires, definitely not.
Yes.
So.
Very good. All right, what else you got for us?
I think,
You gotta throw in at least one more. I mean, come on.
Okay, let's head this way, and I do believe it's the Undine Witch.
You're doing great.
All right, well, we have come a little farther down the trail of the Shrines of Crimson Dawn. Bobby Joe has been filling us in quite well on all of that. We got another one here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
This is the Undine. Some people say Undine, some people say Undine Witch. She's the homesick witch, and the reason why she's called the homesick witch is during World War II, she was actually, the story goes, she was actually found on a beach by a pilot. She was happy being on that beach, and she could fly. She had slippers that would make her fly. Well, the World War II pilot tricked her and gave her some slippers to wear, and he took her slippers and flew her in his plane. She loved to fly anyway, and flew her up here where she ended up staying up here on the mountain. It made her homesick for the beach. So every year people add more and more seashells so that she's not going to be as homesick for the beach as she used to be. And she's quite lovely, and she has a shimmering blue dress, and very beautiful.
And these are seashells you can get anywhere?
Yeah.
People just bring up their own?
They bring, each one of the shrines, people bring things up to adorn the shrines and to pay tribute and homage to the witches, and as you saw, the drunken leprechaun and things like that. Yeah.
Very good. Lisa, you have anything?
Nope, I'm just listening. I was thinking that when they bring stuff up, it kind of makes them part of the whole
Yes.
thing.
Yeah. And and as we said before, people do dress up, and they have their favorite witches. Actually, my children, when they were little, their favorite witch was the Black Witch or the Lavender Witch. But many of them actually love the Undine Witch and the Star Witch and the Topaz Witch as well. So everyone has their favorite when they come up here.
And you said how many witches are there? 9?
9.
Can you name them all?
9. You're funny. The Topaz, let's see, there's the Topaz Witch, the Star Witch, the Undine, the Black Witch, the
Cardinal.
the Emerald Witch first, and then the Cardinal Witch. So
I was trying to give you a little help.
yeah, no.
What do they give the Lavender Witch?
Lavender flowers.
I love lavender. That's why I asked.
Yeah, and there's a gentleman that's there that all the kids call him the Porcupine Man, because, and I can't remember actually his real name for who stands there with the Lavender Witch, because I always knew him as the Porcupine Man, because he would give porcupine quills to small children.
That one was actually probably one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
The porcupine?
Yeah, an incredible man. Yeah, and then the Black Witch, she's the one that likes to play tricks on all the other witches. So she would give spectators little bubble blowers to go blow bubbles on this witch or that witch, or she would give them all kinds of fun things to give to the other witches that would be trickery.
So very, very interactive.
Extremely.
Very interactive for kids, adults. I know when my kids were playing the elves, they would hand out different things, pine cones mostly. So,
Pine cones are good.
Yes, but everybody would take those pine
Yes.
cones. I mean, it was awesome to watch.
The wands that I made, there are people who come up here the next year and they say, I want another wand. Every year I come up here, I get a wand. And so every year they come, they get another wand. And so that's how many wands that they've had. It depends on how many times they've come up here.
Yeah, this event is actually a lot bigger and more meaningful than people think. It's everybody should experience it at least once, in my opinion.
Yes,
in my
absolutely.
opinion. Not only are you getting out of the house and getting some amazing fresh air and some very beautiful scenery, but you're also learning something. You're learning a little bit of folklore, listening to some great stories, watching some incredible people pull this off. I mean, there's a lot that goes on into this.
Yeah, we work very hard to make this wonderful. You know, I mean, and just like the Topaz Witch said, you know, she worked very hard to make this mountain a beautiful sight. All of the witches and the elves and everything, they make this wonderful for everyone who comes out here, so that everyone is happy and they come away from this with a fantastic experience.
Absolutely. So I know there is quite a bit more, but I do know we probably need to get going down the road a little bit. We've taken up so much of your time. There is one more stop I would like to make, and why don't we just go ahead and head that way?
Sounds good, Chuck.
All right. Well, that was a nice little journey through folklore wonderland here, and as I said, we had this final stop. You guys will see on the hill behind me the big Crimson Dawn words, and a very special place of part of up here, other than everything in the cabin that you've seen, her paintings and a little bit of their lives. The people, Jim and Neil, Jim and Neil are actually still here, and they are right behind us. You'll see right up there on the hill there. Bobby Joe is going to explain a little bit about that for us, as well as the ceremony at the end of the solstice walk.
So, when we get done over here, we will go up the hill, and then the last witch you go see is the Cardinal Witch and the Blind Minstrel. And then after that, we go up to the cemetery. Now, the cemetery is only for Neil's family. Nobody else can be buried there but her family. So the first one, I do believe, to be buried there was Neil's husband. And there are children buried there, I do believe. And then once everybody tours and looks at the cemetery and pays homage to Neil and her husband, and give them the proper respect. Sorry. Give them the proper respect. To go over to the bonfire, where the bonfire, unless there are years, sometimes we have not been able to have a bonfire because it is so dry up here, but we do like to have the bonfire because people will, the tradition is to grab a handful of red dirt and throw it into the fire, and while you're throwing it into the fire, you cast a wish into the fire for the next year. So it's very symbolic. Everybody loves to do that. We've got small children that come down off the hill with red hands, and
I'm sure.
and they'll throw it in there several times to try to make several wishes. But it's just incredible.
Everybody gets one, though, right?
Yes, everybody gets one. So make it last.
Yes, make it count.
Yes.
Well, that is absolutely incredible. It's a very beautiful story too, and I'm glad that the family is still very much part of this, and it just hasn't been turned over to just, I don't know, private, I guess is what I want to say. But
Actually, they've tried. They have tried, and because it is a national museum, it's not allowed to happen.
it is national.
Yeah, it's a national museum.
Very nice. So anybody, when you're traveling through Casper, you'll hear about this place. By all means, if you've got the time, take the time to come up here and check it out.
It's well worth it.
It is very incredible.
Yes.
It's beautiful, beautiful up here, and you might see some fairies.
Yes.
Yes. So with that, we want to thank you and Michelle for the amazing tour and all the information. It was a very fun day.
I
So,
enjoyed it.
yes.
I very much enjoyed it.
Somebody find Bobby so we can we're gonna wrap this up. Bobby Joe, thank you so much for your time.
Yes, thank you.
Alrighty. Well, now that we found Bobby, we'd like to thank everybody for coming along on this walk with us, this tour. Like I said, we learned so much, and we're very grateful to have this kind of stuff in our local community. Lisa, thank you very much for being our special guest presentator today.
Absolutely, I enjoyed it. I love the scenery.
I hope you did enjoy it. I did see you taking lots of pictures, so
Yes, I did.
we will expect you to share those.
Of course.
Bobby, what did you think? Please give your thoughts.
I've been up here several times during the festivity, and it's really neat. It's a nice, quiet place. I didn't know all the history about it, but that's even better. Definitely a place that if you're traveling through the state of Wyoming, you have a couple days to spend here. Do watch our other videos and check out what we have here for like the 7 Wonders.
Yes.
And stop in Hartville and go check out sunrise, and definitely stop up here. This is a very quiet place, and it's really neat.
It is really neat, yes. Lots of picture opportunities, just great thing. And Crimson Dawn's just the tip of what you can do up here at Casper Mountain. There's all kinds of hiking and biking trails. The Bridle Trail is a big trail that people like to come up here. If you're really into testing your cardio, hit the Bridle Trail. And then there's the falls. The falls are absolutely beautiful, very picturesque. So there's a lot to do up here on our mountain. And then of course you got the skiing and archery and whatnot, and camping.
Snowmobiling,
yes. So by all means, we as locals invite you and come check out our mountain. Help us take care of it when you do. It's the only one we got that's close. So we rather enjoy it. But again, we'd like to thank everybody involved in today's episode, this project. Bobby Joe, Michelle, Lisa being a special guest, Dominic's random appearances. So it's a lot of fun to do what we do and bring this stuff to you guys. So again, thank you so much, and please remember to follow us. We are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, which is where you'll see our videos, and we are on Instagram, where you'll see a lot of our pictures. We do have some more coming, more episodes coming, more content coming. These things do take time. There's very few of us that are working on this right now, so most of it's out of our own pockets. But and we appreciate your support, and we love every one of you. So yes, like, share, and leave very positive comments for us.
And we do have hats, and we'll be having stickers soon.
Yes, so get a hold of Bobby or myself. I would like to give a quick shout out about Lisa's. Lisa, why don't you tell us about your place?
Right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. So my place specializes in a lot of retro vintage items, a lot of retro vintage cookware, clothing wear, antiques, and it's down behind Ace Hardware. We're not open yet, but we're planning on doing it's like a soft opening September 18th.
Yeah, it's 152.
He knows the address.
152 University Court in Casper, Wyoming.
Yes. So when she gets, and I'm sure you'll have a Facebook.
Yep.
Okay, so
That's the plan.
that is the plan. And Bobby will, he still does his podcast, and he will update, and I will share her information as well. So please go down and support her. She's supporting us, and she does have a lot of neat stuff in there. So
Thank you.
alrighty, everybody. We will see you down the road on the next one. We are making history while chasing history. See you next time.